It's Scotland's time. Murrayfield Fortress awaits the roar of victory. Scottish Gas Murrayfield Sam Huan The morning mist in Edinburgh hangs like a thin silver veil, covering the ancient city's distinctive grey stone roofs. In the distance, the sun is just rising behind Arthur's Hill, painting the sky a brilliant orange. But despite the breathtaking natural beauty, all eyes of the Scots this morning are on one place, Murrayfield Stadium, the burning heart of Scottish rugby. On the roads leading to the stadium, bagpipes ring out, strong and proud. Traditional kilts flutter in the cold wind. With every step, with every breath, one can clearly feel something burning. A special feeling, intense and sacred. Today, Scotland has a big battle. And in the sea of people pouring into Murrayfield, a familiar figure appeared, tall, confident, with a sharp gaze. He was none other than Sam Huan, the symbol of Scottish pride and the soul of the Scottish Gas Murrayfield movement. Sam returned to Murrayfield not only as a famous fan. For him, this place was like a sacred fortress, a place where he spent his childhood, his youth and his afternoons shouting for the national team until he was hoarse. As he entered the stadium grounds, Sam stopped and looked up at the giant stands. The Scottish flags glittered in the early morning sunlight, waving proudly like a challenge to the world. Scotland's time has come, he said, his voice low and determined like an oath. Beside him, Fiona, his assistant and longtime friend, smiled slightly. How many times have you said that, Sam? Until we win, Sam replied, his eyes still fixed on the stands. Since Sam joined the campaign to inspire the team, 2 hashtags have spread like wildfire across social media. #Scottish Gas Murrayfield and #Sam Huan. Many say that Sam brought a special energy to this match, a spirit that cannot be grasped but is felt by everyone. Murrayfield gradually came alive. Waves of spectators arrived, singing filled the air. Suddenly, in the distance, a group of young musicians appeared, playing Scotland the Brave. The sound was chilling, ancient but indomitable. Sam stood still for a few seconds. He closed his eyes, letting the bagpipes penetrate every muscle. It reminded him of the stories of his ancestors, the rivalries between clans, the warriors who had once grabbed claymores and rushed into battle like thunder. In those days the Scottish warriors carried swords. Now we carry balls, he thought. But the spirit has never changed. He walked over to the band, bowing his head in thanks with a gentle smile. You have awakened the spirit of Murrayfield, Sam said. A young musician blushed. We are only doing what our ancestors taught us. But, are you Sam Huan? Are you really going to give the opening speech today? Sam chuckled, placing his hand on the boy's shoulder. Yes. And I will speak for all of Scotland. The band seemed to burst into tears. They knew Sam was more than just a famous actor, he was a symbol of the resilient Scottish spirit. About an hour before kickoff, the stadium was packed. Tens of thousands of people stood up as Scotland walked down the tunnel. The stadium was a sea of blue, like a moving sea. Behind the VIP area, Sam was preparing his speech. He took a deep breath. Sometimes, he felt Murrayfield breathing, like a beast waiting to be unleashed. Fiona stepped forward and handed him the microphone. Sam, it's time. He nodded. There was no trepidation. There was no doubt. He walked out into the middle of the pitch, where the lights were shining, where thousands of eyes were focused. Murrayfield fell silent. Sam raised the microphone, looked up at the stormy Scottish sky. And he began. Today, Sam said, his voice low and strong like a rock hitting a chasm. It's not just a game. It's a declaration of a nation. The stadium was dead silent. We, the Scots, were born from the cold Highland wind, from the waves crashing against the cliffs, from the ancient songs passed down through the generations. And today, that spirit calls us to rise. He paused for a moment, looking straight at the team who were listening to every word. Murrayfield has seen our downfalls. But it is here that we have risen. And today. Sam raised his hand, his voice booming. Scotland's time is here. The stadium erupted. The cheers seemed to lift the sky. Sam continued. Let our roar be heard. Let the world know, Scotland didn't come to play, we came to win. #Scottish Gas Murrayfield began to appear on banners, on phones, and in unison from the stands. When the whistle blew, the atmosphere changed like a storm. Scotland played a game full of energy. As strong as the wind blowing through Glencoe. As fierce as the warriors of Clan Fraser. And as clever as the strategists of old Edinburgh. Sam sat in the VIP box but could not keep his composure. He jumped to his feet every time Scotland attacked, clenching his fists when the opponent closed in. There was a moment that people talked about forever. In the 62nd minute, when the Scotland player rushed down the touchline and made a spectacular jump to score, the camera captured the image of Sam screaming with emotion, punching the air, eyes shining. The press called that moment the hue and roar, the roar of the Scottish people. 3 minutes left. The score was tied. The atmosphere was as tense as a string. The Scotland team stood in a line, eyes looking at each other, determination evident. Sam held his breath. A long pass, precise. A burst, like a blade cutting through the air. And then, a perfect place into the box. Murrayfield explodes. The stadium shakes like an earthquake. People hug, cry, scream, laugh. The Scottish flag flies high in the air. Sam stands still for a few seconds, then bursts into laughter, the laughter of someone who knows he's living in a historic moment. When the match ended, the team went to the VIP area to thank Sam. The captain took his hand. "You lit the fire for this game, Sam." He shook his head. "No. The fire has been Scotland since before I was born." He looked around the stadium. "And it will burn forever." Fiona walked over and gently placed her hand on his shoulder. "Sam, people on the internet are going crazy. The 2 hashtags you created are the best in the world." He just smiled. Not proud of himself, but proud of his country. Murrayfield, he thought, has become a Scottish fortress again today.